space in Piper Doug's workshop. That's still weird. So, welcome back. Yeah, it's still me. Welcome back. To Piper Doug Land. Actually, it's Mrs. Piper Doug Land. I just rent some space here. Anyway, I realized last week I forgot to go over the baler that we bought. You know, we as in Mrs. Piper Doug bought. Yeah. So I kind of touched on it last week. I have touched it many times because it is a glorious, glorious thing. It is a 2011. It has almost the same amount of bales on it as our 2006. Just shy. I think this one's got 21,000 on it. I think our baler's got 26,000 on it. Which, for these, that's actually not a lot. I was just looking, I was informing Mrs. Piper Doug how much of a great deal this baler was. There's a 2020, so a 3-year-old 560M for sale at a dealership. I will not name the dealership. Got 10,000 bales on it. So, you know, I was on a good sized farm making 3,000 bales a year plus. Custom baler probably. So yeah, it's already 3 years old, 10,000 bales through it, and they're wanting 62,500 for it. So, like I said, our two balers, this one and the other geezer, both of them put together doesn't come up to half of the price of a new baler. Now I get it. You buy a new baler, it shouldn't break down. We all know they do, because stuff will happen. And eventually your warranty will be up. And by that point, you'll have lost almost 20,000 going by 80-something thousand for a new baler. I'm probably being laughed at right now because that's probably not even close. That's the last time I checked. Haha. So, yeah, you hit that much depreciation. So the value of one of these balers is the depreciation you'll get during the warranty period. So you see where I'm going with this. Actually, the funny thing is I haven't even opened up the door yet. I haven't hooked it to the hydraulics yet. There's a reason for that. Is still got the John Deere ends on it. And we have nothing with John Deere ends on it. Not even the old 2900. It's got universals on it. So, first impressions. Now, one of the things I touched on last week, as you will look in here and you will see all brand new bands. Now, there's a couple that are a little bit proud and there's one that's down a little bit. That's nothing to pick up. So, I will go along and tap to tap, tap, tap. Just line everything back up. That way it's not wearing on the fingers. The fingers, they don't even have a 16th on them yet. Some of them have some bends on them. But the tips aren't even rounded off. The accelerator teeth, you can look along there. There's a little bit of a droop over the top edge. But that's nothing on these, especially considering it's over 10 years old. Now, I don't even know. I haven't even tested the twine arms to see if they work. But the one big difference between this baler and the older one, there's something missing right here. Yeah, automatic oiler, it does not have it. Now, our baler has it. We don't use it because all the lines are aged and broken and all need to be rerouted and replaced. So, but I oil the chains manually because I don't trust it. I've heard of people getting caught out by that, and the chains are not cheap. So, as you'll notice, These boxes have not been used hardly, so I'm probably meaning that twine arms are not movie. So I've already started. This had the typical, somebody banged it with a tire, punched this in, so I've started straightening this back out. The wheel does not turn, but I've still got that to push out. This had a bend in it. I don't know how the heck they did that, so it's now back where it needs to be. I see that flare has a bit of a bend in it. Not a big deal. There's not even half the hold down stripper bars where you call those fingers. And the other thing I noticed is that. So somebody has over chambered this and put a bunch of stuff up over the top roller. But the CB drive is really good and tight, and we have a brand new tire on here. Now, the keen-eyed amongst you will realize that's not a baler tire. This is, and I know this because I have something with them on it, this is a poop spreader tire. But it will do fine. That's a baler tire. So you see the difference. They have a little bit more meat on them because they get a lot of abuse. As you can see, stubble rash. So, first impressions are really good. The brake is still in good shape. Got the updated plate, unlike our older one. I'm probably gonna have to take the cleaner bar off the net wrap cutter. Wondering, what do you have to do that to the actuator cover? Odd. So yeah, it looks like they just gave it a quick dicht with the pressure washer to hammer her through the sail. Yeah, the chains are all good. This one's the same. This one's kind of pushed out a little bit. It shouldn't be that far over. And then this body works the same thing. Now, baler people will all know what that means. That this chain come off and went round that sprocket and pushed the whole panel out. The good thing is it's not a green chain that's in there, because quite often that chain will not get changed, because I've changed that one on my baler and that's not fun. So yeah, all I can say is well done, missus. You got a hell of a deal. The belts are fair. I would give them about this one not so much. They're fair. I'd give them about 55 to 60. See, these ones I would say are 60%. Like tread-wise, they're actually good, but they've had abuse. It's like, what do you do to a baler? Oh, you know what they did? They probably plugged it up and burned the belts. That's probably what they did. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go around here with my dental picks and get all of that net wrap out of there. Yeah, they're all the same. Yeah. Well, like I said, paid almost 50% what its value is, so I'm good with that. On to the next thing. Welcome to As the Swath Turns. I'll be your host, Swath McSwathbutson. Yes, I might be losing it. Ever deja vu? I'm not just talking about the fact that I feel like I've raked this field already this year. That I've literally done this exact same scenario less than 12 months ago. Ever get that feeling? Ever? Yeah? Yeah. So the one revelation that has transpired, as well, it's hot as all Saint and Sancho there. But something that I didn't know, and through the help of Facebook groups, because I'm a member of the Fort New Holland and the New Holland, like Sperry, New Holland Sperry page. Somebody posted something and it literally blew my mind. Now, I've had some very rude people on the old Facebooks doing the whole, didn't you read your book? Or, how do you not know that? You run equipment. I'm not from this country, and up until getting one of these, I'd never had anything to do with these things. These guys. So, what's the revelation? I'm going to insert a picture here. So, that turnbuckle, I always kind of just figured, you know, it's for setting it some certain way. What difference would that actually make? It was raking. It raked reasonably fine. Whatever. Well, somebody on the Facebook page posted a picture of that saying, always wanted to know, what is this about? Why is this on my rake? Some nice person, one of the nice people, yes, there is molehills in this field too. One of the nice people said, oh, when it's all the way down, that's for making a very tight windrow. When it's all the way up, that's for making nice, fluffy, to dry out windrows. And there was a lot of people on that page that went, I literally just ran outside and checked my rake, and this makes all the difference. One guy even said, I have a new idea rake. And he said it made the worst windrows. He parked it in the bush, which, as we all know, is code for it's behind the shed. He went out and checked, and sure enough, this new idea had been set at this setting. Now, as it transpires with most people, they're all doing, why would you ever set it at the lowest setting to make a tight windrow? You're raking for a reason. Most of the time, you want it to be drying out. Even if you're going 2 into 1, you rake it 2 into 1 and you want it to dry out a little bit. Seldom would you ever want to like make a tight packed swath like this. And you're looking at that going, huh, was that because this rake was set almost all the way down? I didn't know. Nobody ever said anything to me. Pretty sure lots of people had seen the video and seen the way the rake was set up, but I digress. Oh my gosh. Holy moly. Yeah, this end of the field is where the stones and the moles live. That ends where the gophers live. Yeah. Anyway, on to what we're doing. As you'll notice, we're raking and we're 2 into 1. Well, if you can tell, if there's a row there, we are 2 into 1-ing. At this point, this crop is a total loss. Yes, sounds awfully like deja vu from last year. It will make very low quality feed. So, one of the options that I kind of came up while I was brainstorming with Liam was I could spend a couple of days, get my forage harvester, the New Holland 880, get it ship shape enough. It needs going completely over, but see if it would just go. And just drive up and down the field picking up what swath it was and just blowing it into the air. Just confettiing it. And then letting it scatter itself and then just pick up whatever was left over in the next cut. As you see, the next growth is also a foot and more tall. So yeah, we're running out of time because now we're starting to do damage to the next cut. So that was an option. I came out here after that last chance of rain yesterday passed, and it seems to be drying quite fast. And looking at these swaths and then finding out about the setting on old Raking boy back there, gopher, this is where we're at. I'm going to go 2 into 1, bring what was left of the rows together. The parts in between, the fall in between, they are lost to the next cut. Kind of the same as last year too, because when I raked it up for the Vogelmuths to come chop, I was doing the same thing, leaving a strip, because there's only so much basket rake can do. And believe you me, right now, the market for V-rakes is insane. Like, second-hand rakes are making almost the same price as rakes that are like, you know, demos and whatnot. Just insane. And I had some great offers to for loan of rakes or to come and help rake. That would be awesome. The only problem with the wheel rake is it would be gathering a lot of this regrowth, pulling it into the swath, whereas the way this this basket rake is set, it's actually pulling it up out, so there's not a lot of green stuff ending up into the swath, which is good. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. This is where we're at. Long way to go, short time to get there. What did we break today, Piper Doug? Yeah, don't worry about the leaks in the tractor. Mind your business. As you saw in the previous video, we're trying to get 2 into 1, get that hay off the field to get the new stuff growing. But no! So you can see it was goobered before, and where it was goobered, I knew it was cracked. But I only had another hour to go to finish the field, and then I was hoping at some point I would take that off and either get it replaced or snot it back together myself. No, didn't even like go in it, the heavy stuff. Nope, just broke. Clang, clang, clang. Rattle, bang, bang. I'm gonna ruin your day. So take this off and see if I can scrounge up enough bits of shrapnel to put it back together. I think some of the parts are missing, so I messaged the dealership to see if they have the parts, because I think they're all interchangeable for quite a lot of these models. Yeah, that or I'm going to be making something. At the 300 bale mark. You ever wanted to feel like the weather's going to end for you? This is number 3, and it's coming this way. Third storm since we cut this field. Yep. stuff up, guys. Just a wall of water. It's worse to the north, as you just saw. But she's wet. And you can hear it through the tractor. There's a couple of strikes, I can smell the lightning. Not wet soil. The, what do they call that? Sulfur? Yeah. I smelled that. So, the one in the chamber, what are we at now? 304 bales done on this field. There's still another, I think we said another 25 acres still to cut. There's about another 20 acres still to finish raking. But at least it's up there. I was caught up to the 2-into-1s. So now, let this go by. Wait another couple of days, so we'll be at 3 weeks cut. This stuff was cut on the 13th, and it's now Canada Day. So yeah. It's not easy. So this is the aftermath of this storm. Bubbling brook of crap water. 37 degrees today. And as the only non-ginger in the family, yep. I go to the drain, and then I have a sump pump to clean this all the way completely out. Oy. Well, I have not filmed anything for a couple of days. Much apologies. Short and skinny of it, just was not in the right frame of mind or mood to talk to the camera. Not exactly sure what I have filmed over the last few days, but put it this way: broken wall, trees down, trees down, trees down, trees down. Yeah, that was one of the worst storms. Not a lot of rain. Still flooded the yard. I've spent all of yesterday cleaning the drains, making sure everything is still flowing. You'll notice there's less cows in here. We picked the 3 cows that we like, that are still viable. We let them go out to the bull. These 3 will be going on a truck, I'm hoping this week, if we can get a trailer in here. That's the problem. Can't get the crush out of there because it is soft and boggy. The other little update, oh, it's glorious. Yesterday it was like 38 degrees with the humidex. Awful. Stinky, no good type of day. And for those out there that have bad backs, they'll know why I'm saying that. For some reason, when you have spinal problems, heat makes it twice as bad. Yes, pudding and candy are not there. Don't worry, nothing bad has happened. So the cull cows with calf at foot are now in the little paddock by the house that used to have horses in it. We no longer have any ponies. That's another story for another time. Yeah, like I said, I've been going around here draining. This, the hang of it is a picture. Yeah, it was an absolute pond. So I've got the most of the water out now, just to try and either pump out or get rid of the rest of the water, and then we'll get everything piled. So yeah, lots going on. As you've seen in the previous clips, we got a lot of the baling caught up, not all of it. I don't know what's going to happen with that stuff from now on. The rake is still to finish, still making part. We now have trouble with the green machine. It starts running hot. From what I can gather, it might be a thermostat. But I started taking the panels off and I found this. So it looks like this radiator is compromised. So it's made a mess of the big radiator. So that's fun. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pull the hood off to get in there. Yay. So that's probably gonna be a new rad, because that one looks like it's not worth fixing. I can't even tell where it's leaking from, to tell you the truth. Anyway, so yeah, that's fun. Still haven't figured out the steering on that. Yeah. Now you see why I haven't been filming. But hey, I put in a vegetable garden. Oh yeah, and that's our swimming pool. There was nothing wrong with it. We took it down, nobody wanted it, so it got cut up. So we're keeping the liner pieces to make weed barriers for some garden projects. So yeah. Anyway, I'll bring you back when we get to something a little bit more interesting, because I'm just blabbing now. Well, we might have got to the bottom of the overheating, because from all things looking forwards, everything looked great. Till you got here, and the old culprit was back. This hose broke. So I've got it back up here. I've got to drive it over there. I've got to wash all this out, and then I'm going to go and find where this hose ends and put a new hose in here and be done with it. Instead of this plastic stuff, I've got some other, I think I've got some like rubber 1/4 inch line. So yeah, I've got to wash all this stuff off. So maybe use my shampoo adapter thing for my pressure washer. Well, decision was made because this pipe started coming apart. So I have a fairly good selection of new braided rubber hose. Weird thing was, that hose down there wasn't clamped. It was just stretch fitted over the bottom. So yeah, there's a belly pan, which is right there, that goes under there. So hopefully this will never happen again. And that's probably the cleanest these radiators have been in a very, very long time. Very long time. So, it's still not perfect, but heck of a lot cleaner. Get after. So, yep, there's the coals with cab at foot. And there's a gap in the trees. And there's the tree. And you can see another one away in the distance over there. She was a storm. She was a storm. Branches everywhere. So yeah, this is what I do. I have a syringe and a little pail of diesel, and Matador is what we're using. Kind of a malathion type deal. That is destruction. Look at that. So yeah, I just kind of walk up and squirt it on them. Hopefully the flies will start to disappear here before long. covered in them. So yeah, she was a humdinger of a storm. Oh, okay. I think we might be getting ahead. So, yeah, I tried. So, this was beyond repair. So then I tried, oh, here it is. I tried getting this really hot and then welding this onto there. And as you will all know, that didn't work. Yeah. It was worth a try, didn't work. So, what's the next port of call? So, I found a piece of tubing that was the right inner diameter, and it was stout. It was actually the runner, which is sitting right there. The runner for the hitch on the back of the old International tractor that the drawbar can roll around on. So that's what this is. So I tried welding onto it, didn't work. And then after brainstorming with Liam, because Liam studies, he's doing engineering, I kind of thought this has got the chromoly hardened outer and inner edge. I run into that when I was drilling a hole through it for the cotter pin, because you have to have a cotter pin to lock the hub in. So yeah, I wasn't going to spend $700 and wait a whole bunch of time, and I don't have time to go looking for an old one of these parts one to see if it'll have parts I can use. So yeah, cut it off. Like I said, drilled the hole for the cotter pin, and then took another piece of that John Deere disc gang plate, which is good and heavy and stout, and I cranked my MIG welder up as high as it would go, and I let her have it. So, I'm going to take it out for its maiden voyage. Fingers crossed it finishes the field. It's about an hour to go. At this point I just really want to see if it's going to hold, because the biggest problem is that weld breaking off of the this stuff. I ground it back to try and get to the softer metal to give it a bite, so fingers crossed. So she's on there. Let's go and bang it down the field. So just for reference, to know what's happened on this field, you want to know how hard the wind blew? The regrowth is taller. Yeah. Like if there was a chance that there was actually a tornado, that would be proof. That was up past my knee. Yeah. And then you get to here, and it's still standing pretty good. Though the flowers are stripped off. Reason? We got hail. So that's one of the issues here. Is this was like between 80 and 100% flowered at this point, because we've taken a long time to get to where we are. And yeah, we had hail for 5 minutes. Wasn't very big, like it was about pea to maybe like grape size. So it wasn't as big as what they were getting out east. If I think about it, I'll put a picture in of what some of the people over near our friends were getting out of that storm that a couple of days ago there. So yeah, same thing. You see these spots, they swath the blue really hard, and then you look at that out through there. Just flat. I could literally drive over there with the tractor and it wouldn't go down any further. Flat. Flat McFlatty pants. Yeah, so up in the hilltops where it's a little bit drier, it's still standing. And then down here, where it was heavy, flat. Ah, the old disc vine will hoover that up pretty good. I'm kind of proud of that. I did that. Figured up welding and whatnot. Yeah. So, as you'll no doubt know by looking at this is horrific stuff. At this point, we're just trying to get it off the field. So, what we'll end up doing is, as soon as it's dry enough, we'll put it one way. As soon as it's dry enough to go into the baler, we will bale it. Probably not even wrap it. Just haul it back to the yard and feed it to the ones in the paddocks. I mean, what are you going to do with it? Like, it's sadly, because this was a 2-into-1, we couldn't just leave it and then run it through the disc vine on the next cut, because this would probably have broken something. So I just wanted to see that this was running, because there's a whole bunch of singles down there that I'm wanting to try and still get into bales. It might not be pretty, but I still need to do something with them. So hopefully by the next time we meet here, we'll be cutting the next round of first cut. Still some work to do with the disc vine. There's issues in the hydraulic solenoids. So the steering joystick, we have it narrowed down to, there's a blown O-ring in one of the solenoid blocks where there's hydraulic assist on the joystick steering. And that's why there's the gap, because the hydraulic assist is supposed to help that, but it's non-existent. So that's where that's at. So tomorrow is supposed to be a balmy 17 or 18 degrees here in Westman. So Piper Doug's gonna be in his glory, glorious. That's like optimum Piper Doug temperature, 18 degrees. You will see me working like a damn fool. A damn fool. Doing all kinds of things. The old John Deere back up and running, so Liam will be out here moving bales. And hopefully once the disc vine is somewhat up and running, I can come out here tomorrow afternoon once it's a little bit drier and get the rest of this raked, and then we can get the rest of the cutting done. Waiting on a new hydraulic solenoid block, because there's two of them. There's my hand. There's two of them. One of them is cracked. We've known it's been cracked. This is probably sucking eggs for a lot of people. So it needs to be replaced to the tune of $2,800. Still waiting for that to show up. But the other solenoid block is the one with the blown O-ring. So that's the one, hopefully. They said I could probably figure it out. So my plan is to try and at least delve into that and see if I can replace it, because I do have a professional O-ring kit for hydraulics. So fingers crossed. If not, I'll just run it with the wiggly wiggly woo, because we need to get on. We just need to get on. So happy 4th of July to all our American friends down there. And yeah, we will see you in the next field. Bye everybody.